What's not to avoid when you're trying to run for president, or just try to get some exposure out there? Gavin Newsom is breaking away with Democratic Party thought process and aligning with the public opinion on trans athletes in his opening salvo into the podcasting world. This is something that you'll hear more of, see more of, as Gavin Newsom needs to up his profile. He is term limited out of being the governor of California. I have issues with term limits, but then they're kind of weird how they go there. But he has launched a podcast, and we've been talking about the podcast for a while because they've been promoting it. You've got to hype it up. You've got to launch all that great stuff like there. I do podcasts. You got to do all these things to promote it so people listen. But what Gavin Newsom has done in the inaugural episode, when he talked to Charlie Kirk in This Is Gavin Newsom, discussing the issues of transgender athletes participating in women's sports and expressing concern, Harris' concern on what's going on. So basically, to put it into a nutshell, he said that having transgender women compete in female sports is, quote, deeply unfair. So it's probably not a good thing. And the thing is, he falls in line with majority of Americans. Americans share the concerns about the fairness in transgender women competing in women's sports. Newsom had a stance on this, reflecting in the podcast, saying that, it doesn't really work so well. And he's going along with the public opinion. The move actually has implications for his presidential race, as he's trying to move himself away from the super liberal governor of California, which he is, to a more palatable person that people can vote for on all sides, or at least not on the weird leaning lefty side of Democrats. Because right now, he was the proposed savior to save us all from the, let's just say, disgrace that was Joe Biden in the wrap of his campaign. When it turned out that Joe Biden wasn't doing so well, many folks wanted a mini primary. They were talking up some names. They threw out Whitmer. They threw out Gavin Newsom. They threw out some names out there. And Biden continued on, pressing on. And then when he dropped out, they essentially handed it over to Kamala Harris, because she was technically in the running, the next person up there, so it all made sense. But it's interesting that Newsom is doing these things to raise his profile now, because right now he's running against an unknown, Donald Trump. At the moment, Project 2025 notwithstanding, can't be president 4 years from now. And assuming he isn't, there are other folks that have to actually speak up, including folks who may be another run for Kamala Harris, although she's looking at going to governor, maybe. Some responses from folks around his orbit. The San Francisco senator of Scott Wiener, a San Francisco representative in the state, criticized Newsom's alignment with Charlie Kirk, calling him a vile bigot. Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot expressed strong disappointment and disapproval, stating the transgender youth in California might feel abandoned by the governor with this going on. And of course, the LGBTQ plus advocacy groups are all over his butt. Now, I have actually addressed this in various spaces in the last couple of months, because this is an issue that's not going away. I've told you people that I'm not comfortable with the issue. I'm just not comfortable with the issue going forward, because it's something I don't deal with. In fact, by the numbers, by science, people who have issues with transgender issues or things going on in, it's a very small percentage of people. So, and the people who actually transition and then follow on in some sort of level of high level sports, it's also extremely long. It's less. The fact that he used it as a dog whistle in the election run up and all the campaigning is extremely sad. It's an issue. It's a serious issue. It's something that should be addressed, and should be addressed on a level that makes perfect sense. This is one I can't magically fix in my head, because this is a serious issue that deals with people. People who are dealing with the issue directly have their rights to have their rights. How they play out in a world that's not always fair or equitable is the big question. Gavin Newsom is saying that it's really unfair for transgender women athletes to basically compete with women in the athletics. We'll see if his opinion will help him sway other people to the opinion that he's a very good person to run our nation.